Okay guys, this is a continuation from the previous video. Little disclaimer here, I'm not a legal professional. This is not a legal advice. Please consult with your lawyer or professional legal advisor before making decision based on informations being given in this video. And also, I'm attenuating to get to the right or the truth or the useful answer here. So I wouldn't hesitate in making some risky conclusions or giving some risky informations that might not be true. But the purpose of me doing that is to like have some kind of relativity in order to find the high quality information or the right one. So please take this information with a grain of salt. Probably there are some mistakes in this video, so no professional guarantee. Okay, let's continue on. We are at the, what do you call it, harmful or dangerous content policy for YouTube community guidelines, and we are on the second part. The previous one is in the different video. This policy applies to videos, video description, comments, live streams, and any other YouTube product or feature. Extremely dangerous challenges. The following types of content are not allowed on YouTube. This isn't a complete list. Asphyxiation, misuse of weapons, ingesting harmful substances, burning, freezing, or electrocution, mutilation and blunt force trauma, challenges featuring children. Okay, let us read the description. Any activity that prevents breathing or can lead to suffocation, like choking, drowning, or hanging, games, eating non-food items is considered asphyxiation. Using weapons like guns or knives without proper safety precautions or in a way that could cause physical harm includes the no-lekin challenge. I don't know what that is, but that is considered the misuse of weapon. Eating, consuming, or inserting non-food objects or chemicals that may cause illness or poisoning includes detergent eating challenges. Now, I know what this is. This is the Tide Pod challenge. No, guys, don't eat Tide Pods. Next, it's considered ingesting harmful substances. Activities with inherent risk of severe burns, freezing, frostbite, or electrocution, including the fire challenge and hot water challenge, is considered burning, freezing, and electrocution. Activities like self-mutilation, abstaining from normal health practices, falling, impalement, collision, blunt force trauma, or crushing is considered mutilation and blunt force trauma category. And showing minors drinking alcohol, using vaporizers, e-cigarettes, tobacco, or marijuana, or misusing fireworks is considered challenges featuring children. All right, I want to talk about these two points right here. For example, freezing, electrocution, burning, it is available in education videos sometimes because I like to watch like chemistry shorts or some kind of physics experiments video, and things like that could be dangerous. It displays like quite a dangerous experiment by, for example, veritasium, for example, do things like that, and and I think if that is considered against the community guidelines, how crazy that is. Obviously, I think it is not supposed to be against community guidelines, but just be careful, guys. If you want to create in the theme of experiment or something like that, again, if I were YouTube, I would look to in the video the way you presented it. Is it like you are glorifying or encouraging this in a way that doesn't consider the safety of your audience? Okay, I think that is important. You gotta make sure that audience are not recklessly interested in doing dangerous things. Next, about mutilation and abstaining from normal health practices, I think it's the famous person in here is Liver King, right? Liver King is known for lying in the video about his state of the body. He said he didn't use steroids. Apparently, he do use steroids, and he already make an apology video about it. And what's interesting here is that the way he eats raw foods. And raw foods, in my opinion, especially like in animals, has a lot of microbes in it that probably is going to upset your stomach or do even worse than that. But like but certain diets actually works. Like for example, I remember when keto used to be popular and controversial, more controversial than the way it is now. um, like, is it considered dangerous? Could YouTube actually ban something that is as useful as keto? Because I found a lot of benefits in doing the keto diet. Based on these community guidelines, I hope YouTube would be careful to not do something like that. Okay, next, dangerous or threatening pranks. The following types of content are not allowed on YouTube. This isn't complete list. Intentional physical harm. Inflicting physical harm on unsuspecting prank victims through actions like punching attacks, drugging food or drinks with laxatives, or shock pranks. Now, those people who needs to be careful about this are family prankers. I think you like to prank your family, and sometimes you've been too casual with your family. You went out of line, so that could be dangerous. So be careful about that. Making someone feel in immediate danger, tricking others into believing they're in real danger, even if no physical harm comes to them. This includes threats with weapons, bomb scares, swatting or fake 911 calls, fake home invasions or robberies, fake kidnapping. uh Guys, again, you gotta know about the law and also what's criminal, what's considered a crime. So uh, also I encourage you to actually look at your criminal law and internalize the, profoundly, because you don't want to caught yourself in the even in a situation where you are liable. All right, next, emotional distress to minors. Any prank that causes emotional distress to children or others who are vulnerable. This includes fake death or suicide, fake violence, pretending that a parent or caregiver will abandon a child, showing a parent or caregiver verbally abuse or shame a child. The problem with children is, as far as I could say, and I'm sure there's more to that, there's more wisdom to this than what I could say, is that children don't know about a lot of consequences. And even if they've been told of the consequences, they don't have nuances or the relativity or the milestone to measure how hard is it, or how much of a priority is it. So you gotta, that's why there still need a lot of isolation, not isolation, like a safe spot from the world, let's say that. And also you want your children to have these measurement objects for the sake of their wisdom or relativity stuff, right? They gotta have the repositories of this, or a library of this. So you would want to right, but I'm not going to give you parenting advice, but that is the reason why we want to protect children, because sometimes contents could not be considered violating any law, but actually dangerous. It's not good for children. And sometimes contents could fall under the rule, like liable towards the rule, because it's supposed to be like it's incriminating, or it's supposed to be bad based on what is said in the rule. But actually it has a lot of benefits for children. The way it is presented, for example, it has a gradual explanation. It presented repositories of really good comparison among things, and it is presented in a way that is so relatable to the children. It's profound. And then after that, it presented the thing that is supposed to be bad, even though may not be really bad, but they already have like the cushions of being presented at the beginning of the video. So it's supposed to be really beneficial to the children. I probably don't know what I'm talking about anyway. So back to the disclaimer part. But still, still, I just I just wish that when rules were formulated like this, we would have uh, what do you call it? Uh, Something that um, like a like a ladder. Do you know what I mean? Like a ladder that we people could step onto, but not necessarily restricted to there. Sometimes you could go up, sometimes you could go down. It's attenuation, not exactly like a done script or done contract, but especially when you are trying to encapsulate millions and millions of results. There's so many nuances. So I think we, in terms of formulation of a law or formulation of a rule, we could do better in a way that we would allow different laws, right? One is guidelines like this, and the other ones are rules, where rules are dynamic. It could be changed. It could be changed often. But the one that is guidelines or the concerns, points of concerns, is a little bit more rigid. Okay. No, we may age restrict pranks involving adults that don't violate our policies. For example, a prank with a realistic looking injury may be allowed, but it won't be available to all audiences. Okay, again, guys, the point of concerns is the safety of the audience, right? Um, but if the children that is watching this, even if it's not a children, even if it's a group of people who is still gullible, it's not really exposed to a lot of modern memes or languages or videos, and they would probably consider this as something serious or something real or something like that, and they would do or perform the act in a way that is dangerous. It is still something that could be yeah. So the points of concerns are supposed to be more rigid, but it is not a rule. So but and the rule part of the law is the rule, but it is a little bit more fluid. It could be changed pretty often, but it is more easily absorbed or understood by the people and implemented. Next, violent events or instructions to harm. The following types of content are not allowed on YouTube. This isn't a complete list. Bomb making, violence involving children, showing viewers how to build a bomb or meant to injure or kill others, such as pipe bombs, package bombs, explosive vests, Molotov cocktails, is bomb making. Any real fights or violence between children is violence involving children. Like some parents likes to show their, or maybe some pet owners show their pet fighting with each other. uh, it is like there's a line sometimes. Probably there's a line when people are fighting where it is healthy or it is like rough and tumble, or maybe even the fight is for something that is funny, or it's just like a bickering, or but something that is malicious. Yes, there are things that are malicious, that has malicious intent. That is where we should make a decision whether or not to post it online or not. We may age restrict this type of content if it is documentary or educational. For example, content that gives medical, academic, historical, philosophical, or news perspective on a violent act may be allowed, but it won't be available to all audiences. Next, drug use. The following types of content are not allowed on YouTube. Displays of hard drug uses, non-educational content that shows the injection of intravenous drugs like heroin or huffing, sniffing glue, making hard drugs, non-educational content that explains how to make drugs. No, 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 no. Minors using alcohol or drugs, showing minors drinking alcohols, using vaporizers, e-cigarettes, tobacco, or marijuana, or misusing fireworks. Selling hard or soft drugs, featuring drugs with the goal of selling them. If you're using links in your description to sell hard drugs, your channel will be terminated. Steroid use. Ooh, non-educational content that shows how to use steroids for recreational purposes like bodybuilding. Okay, but then again, not people who have used steroids, but the act of um, administering it, I guess. If this type of content is educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic, we may still age restrict it. For example, a documentary about intravenous drug use that shows the injection of drugs may be allowed, but it won't be available to all audiences if your content shows items used for taking drugs. It may also be age restricted. Eating disorders. The following types of content are not allowed on YouTube. This is not a complete list. Using terms or phrases in metadata that promote or glorify eating disorders. Videos that promote or glorify eating non-food items. Remember, these are just some examples, and don't post content if you think it might violate this policy. Whew. Okay, guys, I think we all have seen probably things like that. If you haven't, I don't know whether I should encourage you or not, but there are things like that online, and don't imitate it, and don't do it at home. If your content violates this policy, we'll remove the content and send you an email to let you know. If this is your first time violating our community guidelines, you will likely get a warning with no penalty to your channel. If it's not, we may issue a strike against your channel. If you get 3 strikes within 90 days, your channel will be terminated. You can learn more about our strike system here. We may terminate your channel or account for repeated violations of the community guidelines or terms of service. We may also terminate your channel or account after a single case of severe abuse or when the channel is dedicated to a policy violation. You can learn more about your channel or account terminations here. Okay, so guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much, YouTube. Thank you very much for anyone who is writing this page and making these rules for us, giving us like clear guidelines and like somewhat property in YouTube a little bit. And you know, because of the clearance and the lines and everything. Thank you very much, all guys, and goodbye. Please watch the continuation of this in a different video,